It was pretty devastating for us.
All the houses were gone and the trees were gone.
I remember seeing the smoke in the sky.
There were fire trucks all around and the firemen running through the neighborhood saying, "Get out, just leave."
My God, I've never seen anything like that!
We were all pretty scared. There was a lot of chaos.
You realize it can happen anytime. You know, you really want to be prepared.
The CORE program originated after the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989, and then after the 91 Oakland Hills firestorm, it was expanded to be an all-hazards training program.
The city of Oakland, like any other urban area, is prone to many hazards. We have an earthquake risk, we have a wildland fire risk, we have a high-rise firefighting risk, we have risks because we have an airport and we have a port. We have major freeways that go by and through Oakland. So we have a lot of variety of hazards and emergencies that can occur. The CORE program stands for Communities of Oakland Responding to Emergencies. And basically what it is it's a free program that we offer to Oakland residents and community members. And it teaches them basic skills on how to respond to emergencies, whether it's an earthquake, a fire, a hazardous materials incident, etc.
So the Communities of Oakland Respond to Emergency has sort of basically three premises. The first phase of CORE teaches you home preparedness, what kinds of things around your home are a hazard.
We're asking residents to protect themselves from a natural disaster and emergency. So a lot of residents have taken on their responsibility of protecting their homes.
As you start to feel comfortable with your family and your home, we encourage you to branch out and start looking at your neighborhood.
The neighborhood aspect of CORE is basically neighbor helping neighbor and then coming together as a neighborhood. And we think that's important not only for emergencies, but just day-to-day things that can occur. It's really important to know your neighbors.
We then encourage you to begin kind of a response scenario, which is we teach you light search and rescue techniques, how to maybe mitigate a very small incipient stage fire, how to do basic first aid, what kinds of things can you do to secure your electricities and utilities.
Once you start to study what CORE is teaching you, you realize that, you know, living in an earthquake zone and not knowing some of the basic safety techniques and survival techniques is really like a false sense of preparedness. You really don't realize just how complex it is to prepare yourself. And then you start to think about, well, what would happen if there was an earthquake and somebody I know, a neighbor, needed help and I really didn't know what to do. You want to really train so that if something happens, you can be effective. CORE offers the really good skills for how to organize your neighborhood, how to organize specific teams, and it gives you a good direction to move in for more training.
So it really is a realistic scenario that we could be 24, 48, 72 hours, and maybe a week, depending on the nature of the disaster, before we can actually get into the individual neighborhoods to help.
I strongly encourage every citizen in Oakland to become a part of CORE because you don't know when the disaster is going to happen. If it does happen, I think it would be beneficial to have as many volunteers as we can to assist the police and fire because your life may depend on it.
So we would like everyone in the city of Oakland to go through the very basic level of CORE training to understand how to make a plan, build a kit, and get involved. But it's that getting involved piece that is really what CORE is all about.
I think it's a great program. I think it really raises your level of awareness, and also it lets you know that there are a lot of things that you can do as an individual and as a group to really help in the response.
After I went all the way through the CORE program and got my certification, it was really amazing how much better I felt. I didn't think that I could be the fire chief or anything like that, but I definitely felt like if an emergency were to occur in my neighborhood, I wouldn't be the one running scared, that I could actually step up and maybe even take charge.